Hey guys, Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. Today I've got this really cool fun fold. It's super simple. I didn't do anything on the inside and I should have because we've got these great flowers. Maybe we'll do that one on this one. This is our coffee and a mystery card for today. I'll be playing coffee and a mystery card live with you in just a couple of hours from the time of filming this video. I'm so excited about this simple fold. Coffee and a mystery card is a game that we play in the Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social. It's our social group on Facebook, and we just love to get together every other Thursday. I lead you through a series of clues to create either a card, or sometimes we do coffee and a mystery, not a card. We do treat packages too. And we are making this Happiness Abounds card today. Happiness Abounds is a brand new photopolymer bundle you can get from the 2022-2023 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. We're using the Blossoming Happiness dies. When you bundle those up together, you save 10%. Now, the other thing that we have going on here is the Coordinating Designer Series paper, and we're really featuring it here. This is the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper, and as you can tell, I'm loving my paper. I'm cutting it, I'm using it, I'm enjoying it, and look at these beautiful flowers that are all done ahead for you by the artists at Stampin' Up. I'll show you some of these B-sides. I've got these gorgeous painted, and then on the other side, flowers that you can die cut out. You can see that I've been doing that. Let me see if I can give you a glimpse at all the beautiful colors and patterns. I'm going to take a piece with these cool color flowers. You get 2 sheets with the cool color flowers, purples and blues, and you get 2 sheets with the warm color flowers, pinks and yellows, gorgeous flowers. I recommend more than 1 pack of this if you're loving the look. Let me show you some of the other patterns really quick. We're going to die cut the flowers for our project and stamp the greetings. So here's some of those other patterns. We got the painted ombre backgrounds, cute little flowers. It almost looks like it's on denim. So sweet. This is my favorite background paper in the pack. Look at that gorgeous painted background. And little flowers. I love this. You can do in strips and just add a strip to your card for a monochrome look, or go in strips this way and you can get that same kind of warm or cool ombre look. Little plus signs. The other side of that one is a full rainbow. Let's do it this way. Just really great paper. So if you like this Hues of Happiness, or if you like the Happiness Abounds bundle, I do recommend maybe an extra package of this Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. All right, so the other thing I want to show you about this while we're getting started here is I love that Stampin' Up! Kind of give you a little trail to follow if you're going to die cut the flowers out of this paper. So I'm going to get this little guy right here, this flower, this leaf. And the nice part is if you just go kind of along this little flower trail that's Stampin' Up! Put in there, then you'll have the perfect spacing to get the other elements out of the paper. You'll really make the most use of your paper. Now ones that go off the edge like this, I'm a little more brutal. But those are the 3 parts that we want. So first I trim them out, and then after I trim them out of the paper kind of rough, then I'll trim them apart because I can run them easier through the die cut machine. We're going to die cut them. The Blossoming Happiness dies coordinate with the set, so you'll see. And then we're just going to bring these 2 apart. So now we've got our flowers. How easy was that? No coloring, no fussy cutting. We're just going to trim out roughly and then run them through the die cut machine. The other thing I want to show you right here is this Highland Heather piece. I've got 1 piece of Highland Heather cardstock. It's 2.5 by 3 3/4. And look at what we're going to do. Do you see this gorgeous little notebook edge? It's such a fun little detail. And that edge die is part of this set too. So let's get our dies and our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to cut some things out here. These are the pieces that we need. All right, I'm all set up for die cutting here. I have 1, the thin die adapter, 2, and 3. my pieces. Now the first thing I want to do is line up my Highland Heather with the notebook edge. So the notebook edge has a straight line here. That is your outside left edge. So that's all you need to know. Put a little piece of washi tape on it so that the washi tape will go towards the piece I want to keep, and that'll help me remember which side. You don't want backwards notebook paper. It really does have a direction. So those are the things that help me. First I look for that edge, then I keep that little piece of washi tape on the right side of the die, and I remember that the side that the washi tape sticks to is the piece that I'm going to keep, and that helps me do the right placement. So maybe that'll help you too. And then you'll also notice that I've got it going at an angle. I want this to run through my machine on a diagonal so that it feeds through this end down to this end as I crank it instead of hitting like a speed bump. So just a couple of tips for this die. Use the little angle, and your washi tape and the straight edge will help you with placement, especially if you feel a little dyslexic about which way does this go. This is now just line up the dies with the pieces from the pattern paper. Again, a little washi tape so I can keep them in place and cut everything we need in one pass. All right, so we're going to line these all up and give it a crank. All right, so there's our pieces. Look at this little leaf sprig. We've got our leaves. Look at how they're colored so perfectly, and all we did was cut them out of that paper. Now look at this. Look at the little notebook edge on the paper. Isn't that adorable? This is going to get a lot of mileage in my craft room. All right, now I want to do a little die cutting for the inside too. Well, we've got the machine here. Just a little detail thing. I've got a piece of white cardstock, and it is 3.5 by 4 3/4. We're going to use the Stitched with Whimsy dies, the second largest, and we're going to add a little bit of stitch detail for the inside of our card. Now if you wanted to, you could cut out a couple more flowers here and add a couple of those little flowers to the inside of your card too. I'm going to stick with the stitches for today because I kind of forgot I was going to cut out some more flowers. Oh goodness. Here's your Stitched with Whimsy. That's the liner for your card. Look at that great little detail that one makes. All right, let's go ahead and get started here with our card base. It's a cool fun fold. It's really simple. It's going to start with an 8.5 by 5.5 inch base, your standard size card base. I did Pool Party. We're going to pop it in our Simply Score tool. Let's score this on the 8.5 inch side at 3/4, 2 1/4, 6 1/4, and 7 3/4. And you need a bone folder to work those score lines and some liquid adhesive. Ooh, there was somebody eating chocolate over here. And it's on my card. What a video this one's turning out to be. That's all right. I hope you guys don't mind being along for the ride. I'm just going to turn my card the other way. Oh, it's always something, right? I guess that sums up life. So here's our fun fold. We're going to fold a mountain, a valley, a mountain. And there's our card. We'll bridge the gap with our focal layers. And it's that simple. My designer series paper for the outside of the card is 5 1/4 by 3/4. And we're going to go ahead and glue that before we glue down the folds. So we're going to go from each side of the paper, and we're going to get an equal top, bottom, and right border. And glue those down, one on each side. All right, now we're going to add some glue to the folds, and we're going to open them up and fold them right over the edge of the designer series paper so it'll seal the edge. Give that a minute to burn or burnish that down and give it a minute to make contact and connect. There, gorgeous. Right now, our beautiful Stitched with Whimsy panel right for the inside. It's ready for you to add a greeting or some of those flowers if you like. be a simple one to decorate the inside. You can expound upon your outside greeting and add a flower in the corner. And this would be an over-the-top kind of card. That's how they do it on the craft social. Over the top. I'm always so inspired. Got my Stampin' Pierce mat here. And I'm using Gorgeous Grape. I don't use this ink a lot. I'm really enjoying the punch that it has. We're going to use it for our notebook background and for our sentiment. Now for the sentiment, I have a basic white piece. This is cut using the seasonal labels dies. These carried over from the holiday. And we're using this funky little label right here. Let's add some greetings and some background stamping. Got the biggest flower and my greeting, wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. Isn't that a fun greeting? And to make sure that my greeting does not go uphill or downhill, I'm going to just kind of pop it on the grid paper here. And then I'm going to watch happiness, which goes almost entirely across the greeting or across the label. Make sure it runs along those grid lines. And very simple way to get your greeting on there straight the first time. I am very prone to uphill and downhill greetings because I don't think my eyes are on straight. All right, let's ink up this outline and make our beautiful background texture with that gorgeous grape on Highland Heather. Isn't that just stunning? I'm gonna go the same from the other side here. And then I did just a bit off the corner. All right, background's done, greetings done. Let's get the ink pad out of the picture and get some adhesives. All right, I've got both sides dimensionals, some liquid glue. Let's get our sample back in here. I'm going to just rough up the little edges, little notebook paper edges, just a little bit. You can do this or not, it's up to you. I think it really draws attention to it. I don't want it to be so rough that it looks sloppy, but just a little bit is kind of nice. We're going to adhere our Highland Heather label or Highland Heather layer so that the stitches are equal above and below, because you're going to see that white from the inside. So take that into account. And I'm just going to use a strip of liquid glue, just a skinny little strip so that you don't glue your card closed. And we can add that. It's going to peek right in between those pool party edges. So you'll see little edge of pool party, little edge of pool party, and then top and bottom where the stitches are equal above and below. And I like the liquid glue because you do have just a second to slide if you want to. I'll let that grab. Let's put some dimensionals on the back of our greeting. I'm going to go with the big guys here. All sticky, and we'll add that to the card front. High of center. Leave some room for the leaves when you add your flower. And now our little flower. I love this dude, and we're going to do kind of a tippy dimensional treatment here. We're going to put one dimensional right off the label, so it'll be one layer high, just like the label is. And then to give the flower a little bit more, I don't know, excitement, we're going to add a dimensional. So this is the way I want my flower to go. The right side of my flower is going to tip down and be on one level. The left side of my flower is going to tip up and be 2 levels high. So that is on purpose. I think it gives some really nice dimension to the card. So we'll get those sticky, peel the release, and add our flower. Don't cover your greeting. And I'm even on the edge that's 2 dimensionals up, just rolling it up just a little bit. So pretty. Now the leaves, I'm going to put this guy down flat with a little bit of liquid glue, kind of peeking out from behind, filling in some of that purple space a bit. And I'm going to put a dab of glue on the stem and a little mini glue dot on the edge of the label, and it's going to kind of span 2 layers too, so it looks like it lifts up. There we go. It's such a pretty card already, right? But let's add a little embellishment. We're going to put a vellum leaf and a little silver bow. Got my bow punch here and some vellum. I'm going to go ahead and punch a leaf. Now, I'm using such a big scrap of vellum, I'm going to get a leaf and a sprig. So either add the sprig onto the card or save it. It's a perfect little embellishment. Don't waste them. And a little dab of liquid glue on the stem. If you want to, you can trim the extreme edge of the stem. It's a little bit less to hide. And we're going to put that right underneath our flowers and leaves here. Just tuck it in. I'm moving the dimensional just a little bit so that I can pull the vellum leaf down so it doesn't cover my sentiment. Get that to grab with the glue. Next up, this Simply Elegant trim. I always forget about this, and it is just that. It's Simply Elegant. We're going to take a nice big loopy bow off of the silver spool. You get silver and gold. It's got a lot of sparkle. The gold is pretty. It's not yellow and brassy. The silver is kind of bright and shiny. And we're going to make a big loopy bow. Cut it away from the spool, and I want them kind of an extra loopy bow because what we'll do is get a glue dot, and I'll put the knot on and then scrunch up the glue dot underneath the knot. We're going to take this sticky knot, the sticky bow, and we're going to tuck it right underneath again. We're tucking it under our layers. And that's okay. It's going to give us lots of dimension. It's going to make our flowers and leaves kind of stand up a bit and look just so pretty. Now, while it's on the card here, I'm going to do a little finesse. One of my loops is a bit bigger than the other, so you can hold the knot and pull, put the tails and the ears and tails where you want them to go, and then just kind of reinforce it in that glue dot. Last little detail, let's trim the tails so that it's not quite so long. And there it is, wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. I am so excited to share with you the Happiness Abounds and the Hues of Happiness products from the new catalog. If you need anything Stampin' Up, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. And if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, reach out. My email is marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. And don't forget to check out the craft social. The link is below the video. We'd love to see what you do with this fun fold and your Stampin' Up supplies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.